are going to read Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons for our rest time story today. The illustrator is James Dean. He drew the pictures. He is the creator of Pete the Cat. And the story is written by Eric Litwin. And this is an old revisited story. We've read this many times in the classroom and everybody always loves Pete the Cat. And there's his button. Popping off, he has 4 groovy buttons, all different colors. Let's count them. 1, there's the one popping off, 2, 3, 4. Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. Groovy means really neat. He loved his buttons so much he sang this song. And there's the number 4. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. So he really likes his buttons. Pop! Oh no, one of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. 3. Oh, and look, there's a subtraction problem, even though we call it separating. But when you get to kindergarten, you'll see this. 4 take away 1 equals 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. So there are 3 remaining. Pop! Oh no. Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1, 2. 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. 3 take away 1 equals 2. But we're not worrying about that not till you go to kindergarten. Pop! Oh no, another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. So we have 2 take away 1 equals 1. Oh no, the last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. 1 take away 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? What's he have there? His belly button, and he kept on singing his song. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. And over here in that little speech bubble, it says, it's all good. So he's not buttonless, he has his belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. And that is a great story to go with our separating that we have been just introduced to. Thank you. Have a good rest.